video, we're going to be having a look at Drupal and docker4drupal instance interaction. We're going to see what running Docker containers do we have. We're going to run Drush commands from out of the container, and we're going to SSH to the container and run other commands from inside of the PHP container. So here is our Drupal instance installed, and it's running under Docker and docker4drupal. And we could see that if we simply run docker ps-a, and that is basically showing us all the Docker containers that we have. So here we have a Nginx container, a MariaDB container, a PHP container, a Mailhawk container, and two more. So basically this is all coming from the docker4drupal, and if we want to do something special, for example, if we want to stop any of the containers, we could simply go ahead and say docker stop, for example, the PHP container like this, and docker remove if we want to remove it, but let's just go ahead and stop it first. And we see that that container is already stopped. So if we say docker ps-a, basically the PHP container is now appearing as stopped, as you see here, exited 7 seconds ago. So let's go ahead and run it. So docker compose up-d is going to run the containers that are not running. There we go. Because here we are in the folder with the docker compose, that's why the docker compose up-d is working. Keep that in mind. So now let's go ahead and run something inside of the Docker PHP container for Drupal, and we could simply see first the default path. So if we say docker exec -it, and then we get the name of the container, and then we could say pwd, and we see that the path that we are logging into is the var www html, and we could also do docker exec -it, the name of the container, and we could say Drush version to see which version of Drush do we have there. As you see, this is something that we're running outside of the container. We're still in our OS X terminal, but we are running stuff inside of the container, out of the container, if you understand what I mean. Okay, that's perfect. So the next thing we want to do is we want to basically go inside of the container, kind of SSH into the container. So we could do it by simply doing almost the same. So docker exec -it, the name of the container, and then simply bash. And now we are inside of the container. So if we just ls, we see that we could simply change to the web folder, and we could say Drush cache rebuild, for example, and we are rebuilding the cache. And indicator that we're inside of the container is basically here at the front. So it says would be PHP container, which obviously means that we're inside of the PHP container. So cache is rebuilt. Let's go ahead and do a database backup really quickly. So Drush SQL dump gzip, and then to There we go. And if we go on folder up and we ls, we see that here is the database backup. So this is a way to basically do stuff inside of your docker4drupal container very easily. You have Composer inside of it installed, you have Drush inside of it installed, so you could just simply play with it. So that's it. If you like this video, please check the links in the description, subscribe, comment if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.